Welcome to episode 466 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. Today's episode is a replay of one of the past The Athletic Scholarship Podcast episodes, episode 206. Back on episode 464, I did a replay of episode 357. I'm not getting lazy. Well, maybe a little. But I felt that episode and this episode is a fit for this summer season, and they would be a good help for you. Episode 206 was one of my first The Athletic Scholarship Podcast episodes and features the Recruit Me founder and the former Athletic Scholarship Podcast host, John Fugler. In this episode, he is doing an interview format with me. You're going to hear about the importance of taking drive-thrus through college campuses and that they are a vital part of your recruiting journey. So here we go. Let's take a drive-thru.
It's time to go through a drive-thru. This is the Recruit Me Athletic Scholarship Podcast, episode number 206. Welcome to the world's longest-running podcast on recruiting and athletic scholarships. I'm John Fugler, founder of Recruit Me, along with the new Recruit Me CEO, Brent Hanks. As athletic scholarship coaches, we want to help you as a family succeed in the recruiting world and get a scholarship for your student athlete. We are each dads of D1 athletes and have a wealth of experience to share. This weekly 15-minute podcast will change your scholarship future. By the way, you can find every episode on your favorite podcast app, or you can go to our website at recruitme.com. We got a freebie for you, too. Make sure you grab it. It's the Recruiting Power Pack. Absolutely free. You get 3 things to get you started here. It's a PDF. The first thing is First Steps to an Athletic Scholarship. A quick read. And secondly, this topic of video. How are you supposed to use video? When do you use it? Well, we've got an audio which talks about video. And you can grab that as well. And the third is that player profile or resume template. We want you to have that because that is the most important document that you can send to a college coach. All these things are free on our website at recruitme.com. And make sure to check out RecruitMe 3.0 at recruitme.com/system. It's the new RecruitMe Athletic Scholarship System. Well, John Fugler here along with Brent Hanks. And Brent, you're a man who's been on the road. Where do we find you today?
Well, I'm at a strange place, John. I'm at home.
That's got to be strange. I mean, nothing to do, no place to go, no game to watch. What's going on here?
Well, I probably could find some games to watch and got a little golf in. And, yeah, this was our week off for travel and for Sutton, my younger one. And then the Collegiate League actually got canceled last week after a couple of players came up with coronavirus.
Oh, boy. That's going to slow things down. Well, this topic here is really timely. Drive-thru, we're all using drive-thrus, especially in a lot of states now where you still can't get into the restaurant. Yeah, we're talking about a different kind of drive-thru this time around. Explain, Brent.
Well, this kind of hit me that we are using fast food drive-thrus all the time now, and but I think with our travel that we're starting to get to do, and a lot of families spend a lot of money on travel baseball, travel basketball, travel soccer. Just about every sport does some travel. It's a great time to actually drive through college campuses.
Now, when you do the drive-through of campuses, what's your strategy? What do you try to instill in your son when you drive him through? What can parents have on the agenda? You have a checklist or something?
I think you kind of are looking for everything. So especially if you're younger, if you're in that freshman, sophomore type of class, then you're kind of just looking just to get on a college campus, see what it looks like. If you're a junior, senior, you're probably looking for more specific things. But, things that we kind of look at are obviously the sports facilities that you might be using, whether it be the fields or the gymnasiums. Would be practice facilities to kind of see what's going on where you'll be practicing possibly. Then you can kind of look at the dorms and the housing on campus and around campus. The campus union, a lot of colleges have a nice recreational indoor pool and track and weightlifting and basketball courts and stuff like that. So that's a big seller, I think, at a lot of universities.
What kind of impact did it have on your kids when you've done this?
Facilities were big to us in Parker's, and now we're just doing it with Sutton. And the campus that we went through at Northwestern, obviously it is very pretty. It sits out on Lake Michigan, and we can see Chicago in the background. So that had a lot to do with it. The newer facilities that they had a lot to do with his decision to go there. And then the facilities that he might get to go play in at different conferences, as we did research, was a pretty big deal.
We think of visiting campuses only on official visits. You want to wait for the official visit, but it's the unofficial visits which are key. Like this one you're talking about, the drive-thru, is very unofficial. You may not get a chance to meet anybody, but you get to see the campus. And I can refer you to episodes 103 and 141 for more information on visits if you want to go back and listen to those. But this is a whole lot different. This isn't an unofficial visit. It's just a very informal visit. And so how much time do you spend on a campus when you drive through, when it's your agenda?
Well, and kind of back up a little bit, you need to do some research. I mean, if you know you're going to a city, an area, do some research on some colleges that might be on your way or in the area or on your way back. It only costs you time to do this, so it's a very inexpensive visit. You can do this before you check into the hotel with your family. You can do this whenever you're on a game break. You can do this on your way out of town. So it's just something that you just need to kind of make a little bit of time and think about what you want to do and where you want to go before you get on the road.
Our boys were recruited through a showcase in Phoenix, and so we had the opportunity to visit Arizona State, but we didn't. We were so occupied with just getting to that showcase, and they were nervous about that. Of course, as dads, we get nervous too, believe it or not. And so we missed that opportunity. So it's just so wise. You got to have a wider scope than just the one purpose that you're going to that town, to that game, that tournament for. So I really appreciate that.
And to be honest with you, from past experience, we didn't do it as much as we should have with Parker. One of the mistakes I made was I gave him a choice. Hey, do you want to drive through this campus? No, I just want to go back and take a shower and get something to eat and hang around. Parents, we can't give them choices sometimes. we got to just kind of load them in the car and take them. We want them to buy in. But kids are kids, and they want to go just kind of hang out sometimes. So it is a family affair because obviously this is where the kids, the student athlete's going to be for 4 years hopefully. But it's also where families are going to come and visit, and so it is a family decision. Kids need to put their phones down, and parents need to not ask a whole bunch of prying questions and make it boring for them and make it a hard to do thing for kids on these little drive-thrus.
Speaking of questions, because you want to kind of get some information from them and get their feel, how do you pull out information from your kids? I mean, you've done this now twice. What are some tips that you can give us on that?
I'm still trying to find that manual, John, on how to, I tell my kids aloofness is not very attractive on people, but I think on the drive-thrus, you kind of drive through the campus and don't ask a lot of questions. And then, you probably will have some time as you're driving to kind of say, hey, what did you like? How did that campus feel? Could you see yourself going here? But really during the drive-thru, I think it's just kind of going through and taking some mental notes. And then at some time, the family's got to sit down and actually talk about, hey, what did you think about that campus there? And again, the younger you are, it may not seem that important, but if you'll write it down, then you can go back to that whenever things are getting a little hotter, your junior year or whatever. And kind of reflect, hey, I do remember that. I really like that those facilities that college had.
Yeah, and take pictures too. Now you got your phone, just snap pictures.
These phones will do amazing things now.
So you take that drive-through, and I imagine sometimes the campus isn't totally closed. You can actually get inside some of the buildings and take a look at some of the athletic facilities too. Yeah,
a lot of times you don't get the feel of college because in the summer there's not well, right now there's not any students on the campus, but a lot of times there's not as many. But a lot of times you can walk in buildings, pull on a door and be able to go in. I always like to take a little walk around campus when we were playing, and it's just neat to go see the football field. And a lot of times you could just kind of walk in a back gate and go down on a football field and kind of look around. So, you can check out lots of things. How far is food going to be, from your dorm? How far is shopping going to be? Is there going to be off-campus housing that you might want to look at your junior and senior year? So there's just a lot of different things. Are there good biking trails? Just anything that interests you, you can kind of look at.
Yeah, I like that. You're talking about things that are just the ordinary things of life, not the sports stuff, but the college life kind of stuff. That it's the big picture that you're taking a look at, and you're not under pressure, so you can take your time and you can think through some things and observe some things that you may not if you were taking that official visit or even that scheduled unofficial visit.
Yeah, I think you asked me kind of how long do you take? Take 15 minutes, take 30 minutes, take an hour, whatever you have to do a college drive-through.
Okay, good. Well, any final thoughts that you have, Brent?
In this theme, take the family, go grab some drive-through fast food, and then drive through a campus and just have a good time with it.
Okay, good. And if you have questions for Brent, email him at brent@recruitme.com. He's experienced at doing these drive-through visits. And you, as one who used the system and has been using it for quite a while, maybe just give a quick pitch on how this has been helpful for you and how it could be really helpful for families.
Yeah, of course, we try to give a lot of free information on our podcast and on the website, but the Recruit Me 3.0 really condenses and pulls everything together, and it gives you a 200-plus manual that you can download or you can print if you want to. It gives you a lot of templates that you can use for emails and for like a player resume or profile.
Now, next episode, I know you got something special really planned, kicking off a 4-part series. Tell us about it.
Yes, that's going to be the basics of each of your years in high school. So next week will be part 1, which will be your freshman year, and then we'll follow that with part 2, sophomore year, part 3, junior year, and part 4, senior year. So we're going to kind of go through just some basic steps that you should do each year of high school.
Excellent. Perfect time to do that. Perfect time. Tell your friends about these 4 episodes coming up. Share this podcast. Share the Athletic Scholarship podcast with your friends. Just hit the share button and have them tune in. You've got people that you know that you're in this recruiting world with, and don't keep it a secret. Help them and help each other. Let's go through this together, okay? Well, that's about it we got time for this week. And again, Brent, you're taking questions at brent@recruitme.com. Feel free to write Brent. And looking forward to talking again next week, Brent, and starting that 4-part series.
Thank you. Thank you for listening, and join me next Tuesday for another 15 minutes that will change your athletic scholarship future on the Athletic Scholarship Podcast.